And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flux Motorsport TV for round 2 of the GT3s at Zuhai. As we just jump on back here with Waj, who's currently sitting on the top spot with a 1:33.2. He's probably going to have to go a little bit quicker if he's going to hang on to that top spot. 15 minutes left in the session. Blank file now starting to get into the 1:33.1s. Still much further to go. There it is, everyone. Bruce with a 1:32.1, absolutely flying, a one and done from him. So he's obviously running low fuel, or was confident he's done enough. As you can see, Waj, they're getting in a little bit quicker than Blank, so still 8/10 off the pace. Bruce still currently sitting on the top spot for a 1:32.1. Waj has been able to get the BMW much quicker into a 1:32.4, only 2/10 off the pace now. Chris 2/10 off the back in the Lambo as well, so Bruce maybe not sitting quite as comfortably as he thought he was going to be with that kind of pace. Obviously a few of these guys keeping a couple of tricks up their sleeve. So Bruce Law taking the pole position. That's another pole position on his current so far perfect record. Waj sitting in second in that M6. Chris Toasty's prediction in third. Good call, mate. Linga Bazinga in fourth. Blank file fifth. Mays in sixth, which is where we saw him running in Dubai last week after an untimely disconnection. So hopefully he'll be able to pick up a few more spaces and get a good result this week round. Jack takes home seventh place. Eighth is in Tibby. CDN in ninth. Dr. Potford rounds out the top 10 in his NSX. Just behind him we have Snarling Bongo in the McLaren Flush in 12th with their Audi R8. TGS in that M6 in 13th. Flatpack, the reserve driver for tonight in the Ferrari, he's currently sitting in 14th place. Survivor in 15th and Green Gaming in 16th, both teammates in the Z4. So we move forward to the race. This is the bit where it all counts, ladies and gentlemen. I said the same thing in Dubai. I think he's got a lot of work to do, and a lot of powerful cars behind him that are going to be hunting for that top spot. So Tinker time is done, the lights are going out. Who's going to make it down into turn one in first? Looks like Bruce gets a good start there, and also brilliant start from Waj and Chris, because everyone getting sort of nearly 4 wide in the background there. Bruce off the line again, holds his lead into turn one. Chris falls in line just behind him. Waj and Blank file are going side by side. It looks like everyone else is able to keep it clean. Linga and Mays are going side by side into turn 3. They're going to be careful and give each other the room through there. A little further back, TGS holding on to 8th place, so he's jumped up a little bit. Waj getting a little bit of wide there on the turn 4. Looks like Bruce is taking defensive moves there against Chris as they come down into turn 7, but it looks like Chris is a little bit too far back. Blank file, Mays and Tibby all piling on the pressure on Waj. A little bit of door bumping going there as we see Waj get pushed around in that McLaren. That's probably going to be a steward's inquiry there. Looks like 4 into 1 will not go. So Linger on the outside into turn 9 there. Again, war door rubbing. These guys looks like they're just fighting for position straight out the gate before they get themselves settled. Looks like Blank file's going to pick that up and stay in 4th place. It looks like TGS getting really wide and going for a little trip on the grass there. That's allowed Dr. Potford to get up to 6th. Good run from him. We saw him start in 10th place as memory serves, so he's made up a good few positions, jumping back up to the front. So this is the man with the pressure back on him, much like we had in Dubai. Pole position. Oh, and Chris has gone round in the background there, jumping back up towards the front though. This is where we want to be. So Linga and Blank file getting ready to go dancing. Looks like Linga's a little bit too far back to make a move just yet. That Bentley is really nice onto the brakes, actually able to brake really late and keep it nice and stable. So that's going to make Linga's job just a little bit harder. Waj is unable to close down onto Bruce, but is managing the gap to the to Blank and Linga. So he's sort of sitting in his own little bubble for the minute, but if he's not careful, Linga and Blank are going to catch up onto the back of him. Bruce is pulling away 4.5 seconds now, that gap in that Ginetta. So who knew the Ginetta was going to be the car of choice this season, eh? Jumping back on board with Blank file and Linga. This is the closest battle we've got on track at the minute, and let's just jump inside Linga's cockpit. This is what he can see. An absolute bootload of Bentley, and there is plenty of Bentley to look at, but no actual way around. Currently, Linga's going to be trying every trick in the book, trying to get Blankfile to move off the racing line and maybe defend slightly harder than need be, just trying to almost move him around on track and create an opening. But Blankfile is a very well-versed driver, and it is going to take every trick in the book to get it done. As Blankfile gets a little bit wide, gets a poor exit, Linga's going to go down onto the outside. Now, can he get it done around the outside? I suspect he's going to try to go back up underneath. He hasn't quite got the legs to get it done, or the room. Opts to sit right in the draft. I suspect going up the inside of turn 14 isn't really an option, so it's going to be into turn 1 now if he's going to do it. If he can hang through this final corner, get the drag up the start-finish line. I think that's been his closest opportunity yet. So he'll have the toe all the way down into turn 1. You can see him pull out to the inside, too far back to have a go just yet. He's going to have to wait another lap before he can get a sniff at that.
But we did see a couple of very brave around the outside, around some very quick corners. So, depending on the drivers, could be anywhere really.
I think we'll definitely see at least 2 people opt to go around the outside, maybe trying to get themselves an overtake of the week.
Yeah.
Do it for the fame. As we see Linga getting on the curb there, that's going to wreck his race. That is unfortunate. So on the exit of turn 10, getting on the curbs and just losing the car, unsettling the balance of it and paying the ultimate price. That's going to release Blankfile to get after Wadge, and hopefully in turn get after Bruce, who is still managing that 4.5 second gap. No sign of slowing for Bruce at all, and Blankfile and Wadge have got about a second gap, so we'll keep an eye on that. Chris is now starting to get on the back of Dr. Pofford, so it looks like he's got round May's game, and we must have missed that when we were following Bruce around, and he has made real short work of getting on the back of Dr. Pofford actually. So as I said, 4th is definitely in reach of him, and here it is, it lies in front of him. So, and Dr. Pofford getting wide on the exit of turn 1 there. Like I said, it's a little bit bumpy, you can lose the car there, gifting Chris that place. 17 seconds off the back of Bruce, about 10 seconds off the back of Blank. A great recovery drive from him. We saw him sort of rip through the pack, so he's now in the clean air. I reckon he could get a podium spot today. The 2 teammates, we saw them have a little collision here a few laps ago. They get much cleaner here. We see Mays is off on the dirt there, so he needs to be careful defending. That was a little bit too aggressive, maybe, but maybe not just seeing the L8s come on the exit of that corner, with the benefit of the doubt. As we see Timmy trying to get around the outside on this narrow part of the track, that's extremely brave. Opts to get out of it for turn 10. Good move, as we see Flush capitalising on that mistake. So the teammates obviously taking it in turns to get hold of Mays. Mays with some work to do here. As we said last week, he suffered a disconnection, but was running about 6th. So this is comfortable territory for him. This is the sort of pace that he was used to where he was sitting in the pack, but these guys are definitely not making it easy for him. Just jumping a little further back, it looks like TGS is starting to hassle the back of Survivor for 11th place. TGS getting a little squirrely on the exit. It looks like it's not going to matter. Survivor not having a great exit either, not being able to get anything done into turn 10, so this is probably going to wait for another turn 11 under braking move, I suspect. I do apologise, they wanted to start finish, they're not where I thought they were. So a drag race into turn 1, obviously Snarling Bongo and his Grey McLaren at the back there. Not a great showing from him. We saw him making a mistake early on in the race and costing him big time as Survivor gets wide on the exit of turn 1. TGS takes away the inside, a nice clean move from him. He should be able to make that stick if he's careful. Looks like he was just trying to give a bit too much room to Survivor there, and just nearly costing himself an incident. So these two opting to stay side by side for a little bit longer. Can anything happen in the braking zone here? Looks like no, so it's probably going to be a stretch up into turn 10, but again, this is another risky move. We saw Tibby tried to get around the outside here, and the track does narrow just enough to make it extremely difficult, so probably better to opt out of that one. Looks like Snarling is catching up to the back of these guys, so if they're not careful, Snarling's going to be able to pick both of them off in his McLaren. As always, if you are watching, please hit the subscribe and like button and show some support for the channel. It helps us out massively. Say that we see Chris getting up on the inside of Dr. Potford. They're forcing him on the outside. They're super aggressive, but well respected driving from the pair of them. As you said earlier, good faith and respect for both drivers being able to trust each other to push that hard. Chris holding on to the inside. I wonder whether he's going to lose a little bit of pace on the exit. Dr. Potford may be able to get another go at this on turn 1. But that Lamborghini, we know, slouched in a straight line. Here it is, Dr. Potford going for the inside, late on the brakes as you like. Parks the car on the apex. Great move from him. Can Chris get back up underneath? No, he can't, so he's going to have to fall back in line. Great driving from them two. I reckon that's not done yet either. I reckon they're going to have another little sniff into, maybe not this early, definitely into turn 7 though. Chris still unable to get anything done. There's a little lock up there. He'll be braking slightly later than he would have liked, but with only 8 minutes left to go, it is now or never really. He needs to get this move done sooner rather than later to claim himself that 4th spot, and those little sort of accidents like that are not going to help. Smooth and clean is going to be the way. I want to jump back to Tibby and Mays, but it looks like they're a little bit too far back to be doing anything just yet, as well as Green Gaming and Jack, as we can see just in front, having a bit of a go. It looks like Dr. Potford made a mistake on the exit there, so these two in the blue flags are going to need to get out of the way now, not trying to hold these cars up at all. Well done from Green Gaming there, getting on the brakes and as far out of the way as he possibly could. Jack will be up next, but he'll be doing the same. Dr. Potford getting wide onto the grass there, so Chris gets himself back into 4th place. He's got 7 minutes to defend from Dr. Potford, who has showed that NSX actually has got some legs in it. Chris wasn't able to just cruise around like he probably would have hoped for in the Lamborghini. There are definitely a few standouts of people who can, who definitely able to calm the nerves, as it were. Bruce definitely being one of them, understanding that, as you said, you can't finish a time race any earlier, and saving the tyres and not making mistakes ultimately is what will win you the race. You've only got to be first at the end, and that is time. So this is going to be the last lap, I believe. So Bruce, final few corners to navigate, and he will take what could be another clean sweep. We wait and see if he's managed to bag himself the fastest lap. Waj unable to close that 2-second gap. Perfectly managed by Bruce, really. He got himself into turn 1 off the start and held on to it whilst everyone was fighting, pulled out that gap and has managed it wonderfully as he navigates the turn 14 there with no issues at all. A great win from Bruce, a big flash of lights there, well deserved from the Ginetta driver. Great effort. So, in first place, Bruce Law takes it home. Did he get the fastest lap? It looks like he has. So, another clean sweep from Bruce Law, pole position, fastest lap and the race win. Another boatload of points for him. He'll be happy with that. Waj takes home 2nd in the M6. Blank File comes home in 3rd. There's the top 3. Good result from them. Chris comes home in 4th in that Lamborghini. Brilliant recovery drive from him. He's got Dr. Potford for company in that NSX. A good drive from both of them drivers. Tibby able to fend off Flush Mays and CDM for the 6th place. Flush improving his result from last week. He gets home in 7th. He'll be happy with that one. Mays staying with it to the end, 8th. He had the possibility of holding on to 6th, but made two mistakes, couldn't quite keep it together, so he'll be looking to improve on that into next week. CDN takes out 9th, and Snarling Bongo rounds out the top 10. Jack Domenez come home in 11 after a big incident we saw him have. Not sure whether that was contact or just driver error. We wait and see. Survivor comes home in 12th with Green Gaming for company in the Z4s. Them cars not working out for them at all. TGS retired. Flat Pack retired. And it looks like Lingo has gone as well. So no points scored from them 3. Flat Pack, obviously the reserve driver this week. We saw him driving extremely well, actually, so we'll have to wait and see what happened to him. I don't know whether he picked up some damage, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2 for the GT3s is done and dusted. Next week we head to Quito, and that is all from us. Thank you and good night.